The prosecution delivered its closing argument today in the Diddy trial, with Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic taking the entire day. She started with and spent most of her time on racketeering, probably because she realizes, like I've been saying, that racketeering will make or break this case. Prostitution is a gimme, but if the government only gets convictions on prostitution, this will be the most expensive prostitution trial in American history. On racketeering, the government needs 2 or more RICO predicate acts. Those are drugs, kidnapping, arson, bribery, prostitution, forced labor, and of course, sex trafficking. She focused on the drugs, which is the easiest to prove, and because they found a lot of drugs when they raided Diddy's homes. Then she talked about forcing Capricorn Clark to take a lie detector test and keeping Cassie in the hotel room, both of which are kidnapping, and the Molotov cocktail of Kid Cudi's car for arson, and the $100,000 bribe of the hotel security guard for bribery. When she talked about sex trafficking, the argument was more challenging, but the prosecution showed 27 men who had sex with Jane or Cassie or both, and the force, fraud, or coercion for sex trafficking. She talked about grooming and love bombing the victims and the following reasons why the freak-offs were not consensual. Diddy used violence and threats of violence, said he wouldn't pay their rent, pushed drugs on them, lied and said he would spend time with them and take them on trips, and blackmailed them with sex tapes to force and coerce Cassie and Jane to have sex with other men. They agreed to do so, not because of choice, but because of fear. And the reason they never left was because of the trauma bond that compelled them to stay. The prosecution spent less time on victim Mia, which leads me to believe that they did not think she was very credible. Some of the jurors were reportedly skeptical of her testimony too. The forced labor argument was a stretch in my opinion. The prosecution closed the way they normally do by asking the jury to hold Diddy accountable and not let him get away with it. Tomorrow, Mark Agnifilo will deliver the defense closing, followed by the government's rebuttal before the jury starts deliberating on Monday.